Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. This is Full Court Press Basketball Debate.
The volume, the audio.
It's up all the way. I made sure of it.
The volume and the...
Yeah, they can hear us very clearly now.
Okay.
Full Court Press, special edition. It's Monday, not Tuesday. So we're back with you for the third time in the past 5 days.
This is Chris Guyette.
And Yvonne Juno, of course. And we have gone over the mark of 100 views on our YouTube channel.
Wow.
So thank you very much to all those people that are interested in what we have to say, and thank you. Keep following.
Sorry if our reception has been bad for the last couple of ones. We did not realize.
The one we did on Thursday was perfectly clear.
Well, there was a couple of them before that where y'all could not hear us the way that we would have liked, and we apologize for that. And Chris has an announcement to make about this week.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't get to be said very often.
We do the pick'em every week. Y'all know that by now. Those who follow us. Yvonne won week 4 by 1 game, so it's her first weekly win this year.
Yay, me!
Congratulations to Yvonne.
Yes.
I'm up by 10 games for the regular season.
Oh, you had to throw that in there.
Of course.
You had to throw that in there.
Of course I did.
You had to take the spotlight off of my one week of wins.
I have 132 wins. You have 122 wins. It's close.
You are something.
That can be made up within 3 weeks. That can be made up within 3 weeks.
I doubt it, but I will take it.
It could, though.
I will take credit for this week.
And this week, and this coming week is the hardest week so far. Okay. So get ready.
All right.
Full Court Press, November 24th, 2014. We're going to start with, I don't know how many quotes it is. It's 8 quotes. 4 of them are by LeBron, so get ready.
I'm not surprised by that at all.
And the first one. We talked a little bit about this, one-on-one. We didn't record about it. The first quote, LeBron, quote, "Spurs are worthy of respect, not rivals." You remember us talking about that one-on-one a little bit. How he said the Spurs were not rivals, even though it's storied, okay? Spurs are worthy of respect, not rivals. Quote by LeBron James. Yvonne Juno, your thoughts on that quote?
Well, I think it's a compliment and an insult at the same time. I understand. I respect him for saying it because he's saying that the Spurs deserve respect. I understand where he's coming from in that regard, but I think it was an offhanded compliment. Do I think they're going to hear that the whole time we're on? Do I think that he meant it in nothing but a complimentary way? No, I don't. I don't. Because you can respect someone and still consider them a rival, and let's be perfectly honest, with the way the Cavs are playing right now, there's a lot of teams that are their rivals right now. Not just the Spurs. He's putting himself way up there on that plateau with the Spurs right now. They don't belong there. Sorry, the Cavaliers don't belong there right now. Did he mean in the truest sense of the word, from the bottom of his heart, that the Spurs deserve respect? If he truly meant that, my hat goes off to him.
I think he did.
Okay. If he did, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. Then no truer statement has been made.
Okay. It's very simple to me. You've met this team 3 times in the NBA Finals in your career.
Yeah.
You've won once.
Uh-huh.
That's a rival.
Absolutely. That's my point.
Okay. Look. Of course the Spurs are worthy of respect. They've been worthy of respect since they won the first title back in 1999.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Why would they not be worthy of respect?
But so is LeBron James. LeBron James is worthy of respect for saying that the Spurs are worthy of respect.
Absolutely. And like I just said, I prefaced it by saying if he was genuine and sincere when he said it, then my hat goes off to him and I respect him for saying it. But you can't call a team like the Spurs.
Wait. I'm not talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm talking about LeBron James's history with the San Antonio Spurs.
Okay.
LeBron is worthy of respect for saying this, and here's what people overlook. Tim Duncan has been to the NBA Finals 6 times.
Okay.
He's won 5 of them. The one loss is to a LeBron James-led Miami Heat team. Say what you want about Ray Allen's miraculous three-pointer in Game 6 of that series, which it was. But they didn't win the series in that game. They tied the series in that game. Then it went to Game 7 where LeBron put on a show. Okay?
Right.
He's worthy of respect there as well. But honestly, they're a personal rival of yours.
Of course they are.
You know it deep down in your heart.
And anybody who follows basketball knows it.
Come on.
And there's a part of me that wants to say, oh, who do you think you're kidding?
Right.
We know better.
Right. We're not dumb.
Come on. Who do you think you fooling?
Right. Mark Cuban, quote, "I hope the Lakers suck forever."
Did he really say that?
Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban.
Did he really say that? In a press conference? Why was the Lakers even being discussed?
Dallas played the Lakers on Friday.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I haven't looked at the schedule lineup.
And walloped them. That's when Dallas put up 140 points.
Right.
Your thoughts?
Oh, this past Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Your thoughts on this quote?
140 points.
140 to 106. Look Friday night. LA Lakers at Dallas.
Yes, 106 to 140. Okay?
Your thoughts on this quote, Yvonne Juno?
Did he really say this?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what a professional man. Do I really need to comment on this? You know, let me tell you something, okay? They run up to these guys, usually the player of the game or the person who did the big shot or the one who put up the most points. These damn announcers and analysts and whatever, usually the person like Jen or whoever who's out on the court for the game, they run up with their microphones. These poor guys are huffing and puffing, trying to catch their breath, sweating all over the place, you know, barely able to speak. They stick a microphone in their face and they give them the third degree and ask them, what do you think was the winning shot? What do you think y'all did good, bad, or indifferent to win or to lose or whatever stupid question they have for these guys before they can even get off the court or catch their breath? Okay, that is bad enough. You can say that that person is doing their job.
Mm-hmm.
All right? It's inexcusable. I think it stinks. And I think that these poor players deserve the right to go to the locker room, take a shower, get a drink, and catch their breath before they have a microphone stuck in their face. But let's be honest. That's their job. That's their profession. This guy, to say something like this, number one, it was unnecessary. It was unwarranted. It was uncalled for. It was totally unprofessional. And can we say that we're a little bit bitter? Is this the way that you handle competition and disappointments? If that's what he said, and if that's the way that he handles it, he has no business being part of a basketball team. Coach, owner, whatever. Does it surprise me? No. No. No, it doesn't surprise me.
I'd like to start.
And I have one more comment to make. If he will say this to the press, either in a one-on-one or in a news conference or whatever, what do you think he's telling those poor guys in the locker room? I don't know.
I'd like to start
He's a jerk.
my argument by saying that Mark Cuban is a complete waste of my time. He is a complete waste of my breath. And honest to God, he is a complete waste of an owner. He's a complete waste of a human being. And he is a complete waste of space on planet Earth. Okay? Secondly, you hope the Lakers suck forever. Well, let's do a little comparison, shall we? Dallas Mavericks.
What a terrible thing to
The
say.
Dallas Mavericks have won 2 out of a possible 5 NBA championships in their history. 2 out of 5. The Lakers have won 16 out of 31.
Oh, there is no comparison. They're just having a bad year this year for a lot of reasons.
Okay. The Lakers have 4 times as many retired numbers as Dallas does, and probably ever will. Okay? And Kobe ain't even up there yet.
No kidding.
Okay? Look, this quote is so irrelevant because of the fact that this was said out of complete jealousy.
Of course it was. Sour grapes and poor attitude and
It
unprofessionalism.
comes down to the fact that he is an ass. It's that simple. I mean, it's that simple. I don't care what any Dallas fan says, and if Dallas fans are
Support this?
true to the heart, they will agree with me in saying
Right.
that.
Right. He's not the one running his butt up
You
and
can
down that
support
court,
your team.
barely able to catch his
You
breath.
can support your team without
He couldn't even if he
supporting.
wanted to.
You can support your team without supporting your owner. Okay?
Yeah.
I support the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah.
I hate Tom Benson. I hate Tom Benson.
That's a strong word.
Okay, I don't like him.
I know.
Shit, he owns the Pelicans now.
Yeah.
I don't like Tom Benson. This quote is irrelevant because Mark Cuban's opinion means nothing. As far as the Lakers go, it means nothing.
Oh, not to the Lakers, but it probably means something to his players.
Yeah. Why are you worried about the Lakers?
Would you want to be owned by somebody who would make such an unprofessional statement? Come on.
I'm done with that quote. Next, LeBron, quote, playing time for the Cavaliers' big 3, as in Irving, himself, and Kevin Love, must come down. Yvonne, your thoughts?
If it comes down, they're not going to win another game. I mean, let's be perfectly honest here. Okay? Let's be perfectly honest here. He went back home to be in Cleveland. He missed his hometown. He missed the team. Did he really think he was going to go back to Cleveland? You see, I think reality is slapping LeBron in the face. I'm very happy for him that he got the money he wanted. I'm very happy for him that he got a chance to go back home where he wanted to be around family, to have his children around the grandparents. I'm very happy for him in his personal life, okay? Outside of basketball, okay? Did he I think reality is jumping up and slapping him in the face. He thought he was going to go back to Cleveland and he was going to make this team soar to the top. I think he overestimated his importance. Is he a very good player? Absolutely. Is he one of the best? Absolutely. If the top three spend less time on the court and more time on the bench, they're going to have less wins on the board. Because let's be perfectly honest, they have no bench to really speak of. And if you take Kevin Love off, not that Kevin Love is that dramatic to begin with, but if LeBron sits down more, they're not going to win any games.
Well, let's start with the fact that we're contradicting ourselves here. I want you to take a look at quote number 6 on this page. The coach, David Blatt, wants to get Kevin Love more involved.
Well, you should have put that as the next quote.
But LeBron wants to sit on the bench.
Yeah.
Let's start with that. So if we're not clashing there, if Cleveland fans are not seeing a clash of personality and a clash of thoughts here, then we're blind. Okay? Let's start with that.
I hadn't seen number 6.
Secondly,
you're going to go in direct contrast with a quote over what your coach said?
we all know LeBron's the coach on this team anyway.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Secondly, I said from the very beginning, when LeBron signed with Cleveland, that it was a mistake for his career.
I did too.
But you had different reasons for it. My main reason, and it's coming to fruition.
Right. He's not going to win a ring with the Cavs.
He's going to win a ring. He's not going to win a ring until they get their stuff together. Because
not with the way they're playing
this
right
is
now.
not his team yet. Because let's be honest, who's been the best player on the floor for Cleveland this year?
Well, I know, but they haven't gelled yet.
Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
Has been the best player on the floor.
Absolutely.
LeBron thought he was going to come in to this Cleveland team and say, okay.
And they were going to be overnight sensations.
Y'all follow me.
Exactly.
And that's okay.
That's what I just got to say.
That's okay.
He overestimated what was going to happen.
No, he overestimated himself.
His importance as to how things were going to happen.
He underestimated Kyrie Irving's intelligence. He overestimated it because Kyrie Irving, he's only in his 3rd year in the league. He doesn't have that mindset of, oh, I have another guy on this team that's just as good, if not a better offensive player than I am. Let me give the ball up.
Right.
Kyrie Irving has never had to deal with that. Because since day one in Cleveland, Kyrie Irving's been the star.
Absolutely.
Kyrie Irving has been the driving force behind Cleveland for 3 years now. And now,
the go-to guy.
And now,
right.
You stick a guy like LeBron James, plus Kevin Love.
I don't think that's even worth mentioning.
Who, by the way, has been absolutely non-existent this season. Just like I said he was going to be on this team. Thank you.
The only reason he was so important in Minnesota is because he's the only one that was putting points up.
He is overrated.
Absolutely.
And LeBron overestimated what this team was capable of this year.
Yes.
That is not to say that 2 years, maybe even next year, Cleveland could get it together and win the dang ring.
Yeah, but it's going to take a lot of work.
Which eventually I think
it's
they will.
Going to take a lot of work, and they're going to have to change some of their strategies. But the most important thing they're going to have to do is change their mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And you know what? Maybe change their coach too.
I said it from the get-go.
Blatt is not the right coach for this team. I said it
from the get-go. I don't care how many Euro titles you've won.
No.
It's on a different level, sir.
No.
It's on a different level.
You need a Popovich. You need a Doc.
There's only one Greg Popovich and there's only one Doc Rivers, so it looks like Cleveland's screwed in that equation, doesn't it?
I'm talking about that type of personality to coach LeBron.
NBA analyst J.A. Adonde.
I don't know who that is.
Quote, Spurs' fortitude fueled their title run. Yvonne Juno, your thoughts on that quote? And to you, what fueled the Spurs title run last year?
Everything.
So are you agreeing with this quote or disagreeing? Just to clear the air.
Their fortitude. Fortitude is a very big word to encompass. That means drive, determination, the players that existed on the team, their willingness to do whatever it took to get the job done. Yes, I agree with that. I agree with that. Absolutely. Yeah, I would agree with that statement. Yeah, I would. You still got Parker, you still got Tim Duncan, who's 92 years old, as you're fond of saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You still got, but there's something wrong, and I can't put my finger on what's wrong this season so far.
Well, there's nothing wrong now. They've won 4 straight.
Right now.
They had some injuries, they had some off and on injuries,
right,
and they're getting it together now.
Right.
There ain't nothing wrong with the Spurs so far.
Not right now. They started off wrong.
They're going to be fine.
Okay? Yes.
What fueled the Spurs run?
Okay. But, very simple. They wanted it. They saw it. They went after it. They were determined.
Yeah, but we'll never know how much LeBron truly wanted that 3rd ring. We'll never know.
Okay.
What fueled the title run for the Spurs was playing out. And I every time I talk about the Spurs, I say this. I will take experience over skill any day of the week.
And desire.
Experience.
And desire. You gotta
I don't care how much desire you have.
You have to have
if you are not familiar with the scenario,
I follow you.
That is what won the 5th title for the San Antonio Spurs.
But they go hand in hand. I don't care how much
No, they don't.
But I don't care how much experience you've got. If you don't want it, you're not going to push yourself.
But you know what it takes if you've been there.
But you've got to push yourself.
But if you know what it takes, you know exactly how much to push yourself. Look at this team.
And I'm not arguing with you, but I think they go hand in hand.
You don't think New Orleans wants to win the ring?
Yeah.
But we know that ain't going to happen.
No, because they're too young. They haven't played together long enough.
Exactly.
And they don't have the experience.
Exactly. I don't care how much you want something. You have to know what it takes to win a title. And I won't say nobody, because the Celtics and the Lakers have won the most NBA titles of any franchise, but the Spurs are right under them.
Mm-hmm.
That trio of Duncan, Parker, and Ginobili knows about those NBA championships more than any other trio ever. They know what it took, and they did it.
Right.
4-1. I mean, they did more than did it. Okay? It was sensational. Yeah, they had fortitude. Of course they did. Of course they did. And we like to talk about that trio. Don't forget about that bench.
Oh, they have a wonderful bench.
Those role players on that team.
If every team had as deep a bench, then some of these guys wouldn't have to play
It's
25
ridiculous.
and 30 minutes per game.
A lot of things fueled the Spurs title run last year. Experience and knowing what it takes to win a championship. If you have that knowledge, you automatically have the upper hand. Automatically.
Yeah.
Paul Pierce, quote, "Rivalry with LeBron is misunderstood." Yvonne Juno, your thoughts, and is this a rivalry to you? Why or why not?
Of course it is. You can't have two top-notch players like this and not have a rivalry. Of course it is. Well, okay. rivalry might be too strong a word. It's a good-natured competitiveness. It has to be. There's a competition there. Whether they say there is or there's not, we both know there is.
You and I are going to disagree on this.
Okay?
This ain't no rivalry.
This is out and out war.
This is not a rivalry. This is not war. It never has been a rivalry. Simply because Paul Pierce dominates LeBron James every time they play each other. Paul Pierce's teams, Pierce doesn't always score more.
No.
Pierce doesn't always have the better numbers by himself.
No.
But in the clutch moments, and Paul Pierce's teams always seem to beat LeBron James's team. There is no rivalry here, simply because this is complete dominance. Paul Pierce has a 38-year-old Paul Pierce has dominated LeBron James.
Who said there was a rivalry between them to begin with?
Nobody said it.
The press and the media?
Well, and the fans. Because it's like, oh, LeBron and Pierce. Watch out.
Yeah.
Okay? But since 2008...
Does LeBron feel that way?
Well, I don't know.
Has he ever talked about Pierce in a derogatory fashion?
I wouldn't imagine so, no.
I think he would know better.
Of course it's misunderstood. Because it's not a rivalry. It is complete, utter, and sheer dominance. Okay? As a player, maybe not. Not now. Now I would say LeBron's a better player than Pierce.
Back in the day.
Back in 2008? Shh. Give me a break.
There's no comparison.
Need I remind you folks that until the Celtics met the Lakers in the 2008 finals, the Celtics were 12-1 in the playoffs. 2 sweeps and a 4-1 over LeBron's Cleveland Cavaliers in the East Finals. And then they met the brick wall known as Kobe and the Lakers.
Yep.
And went to 7 games. And then the Lakers ended up winning in 9 and in 2010, back-to-back. Kobe and Paul Pierce.
They were a force to be reckoned with.
Kobe and Paul Pierce is a rivalry. There is no doubt about it.
Right.
LeBron.
Because they've been head-to-head
LeBron doesn't even cast a
in the clutch
shadow.
moments.
And Kobe has won. I'm sorry. Kobe has won that battle. In the playoffs. There's no rivalry here between LeBron and Pierce. There's no rivalry. And it proved itself Saturday night when Washington, which we'll talk about later, beat Cleveland. Yet again, Paul Pierce's team beats LeBron James's team.
It's amazing to me how Paul Pierce can go from the Celtics to Washington and still play the same way and still end up with the same wins against the same teams that he supposedly was not going to stand
That's
a chance
the effect that Paul
of
Pierce
winning.
has on a team.
Absolutely.
David Black, quote.
Okay, we talked about this.
We didn't focus on the Kevin Love aspect, though.
Is there really anything to say? Really?
David Black,
Go ahead
quote.
and say the quote.
David Black, quote, I want to get Kevin Love more involved. Yvonne, your thoughts? And B, how do they get Kevin Love more involved? And C, how would getting Love more involved help them?
It would help them if he got more involved if he was a better player.
Ooh.
Sorry. I call it like I see it. You're going to get him more involved as long as he's throwing bricks or missing free throws or his field goal percentage is what it is in some of the games that they've been. He is the most inconsistent. He's not worthy of all of this attention, admiration.
Oh my God, this is what I said in the preseason debate and you disagreed with me.
I know that.
Because I said
I agree.
2 weeks later.
I know that.
Everybody bought into a hype and they didn't even realize they did it.
I agree, and I was one of them. I agree. I was one of them. I thought they were going to be. I thought to myself, oh my God, LeBron, Love, and I thought they were just going to dominate.
Looks deadly on paper.
Oh yeah, I thought they were going to be a force to be reckoned with. But Love is showing his true talent and capabilities by being on this Cavs team. We did not see Love for who he really was when he was with Minnesota.
It comes
He
down.
is so overrated.
It comes down to the fact, and it's very simple. I'm going to sum this whole topic up, in one statement. On the Cleveland Cavaliers team, you have an MVP caliber player in LeBron James. You have a star point guard. I'm not going to consider Kyrie Irving an MVP caliber player yet. Please understand.
Nobody's working on it.
Please understand, I love Kyrie Irving. I loved him since he was a freshman at Duke. And I raved about him. And I remember we watched that draft where Kyrie Irving went 3rd overall. And I said, you watch this kid. And look what he's developed into.
Yeah. He's still got some work to do, but he's right up there.
You have an MVP caliber player in LeBron, and you have an all-star point guard in Kyrie Irving. And you have a spot-up 3-point shooter in Kevin Love.
Who may or may not make it.
No, I'm insulting him by calling him that. Spot up means you don't move on the floor. You don't do anything but shoot threes, i.e. Klay Thompson.
No, I'm saying, and he may or may not make that 3-point shot.
I.e. Klay Thompson.
I would be curious. I'm not knowledgeable about stats like you are. Most of mine is just based on gut instinct, what I see in the games, and my own personal opinion. If you had to judge, if you had to weigh one against the other with Love and Thompson for their 3-point percentages, who ranks better at making those 3-point shots?
Career or this season?
This season.
Thompson.
That's what I thought. Career.
Love.
Because he played with Minnesota.
Right.
Okay.
And because he can shoot the 3. There is absolutely no doubt about how good Kevin Love can be. But is he really as good as people made him out to be?
No.
No. We saw I told you on the way back from last year's Pelicans-Timberwolves game.
Right.
When we went and saw the man live.
Right.
I told you, wow. That surprised me how bad Kevin Love was.
Right.
Kevin Martin was sensational in that game. Kevin Love was almost non-existent.
Yeah. I remember.
Here you go.
Yeah. So, do you agree with me? Giving him more time? What good is that going to do if he can't?
As far as giving Kevin Love more time, I think it would help.
He's got to improve if he's going to be
But the only way he's going to improve is if he gets more time.
That's what practices are for.
Okay, you can do all you want in practice. In the game, it's on you.
Okay.
But he's got to be on the floor to improve. He can't improve if he's sitting on the bench.
Okay. Well, if they're complaining already, if the top 3 are complaining already.
Oh, that's LeBron complaining.
About
Kyrie Irving never said anything about it, and Kevin Love never said anything.
He should not be lumping up the 2 with himself.
Well,
he should be making his own personal statement.
LeBron, quote, "Being patient is my biggest test."
Probably so.
Your thoughts?
Probably so. Yeah, I can see that. He's very unhappy with the Cavs players right now. I saw on Yahoo where they had to blurb out most of the things he is screaming at the top of his lungs at some of his own teammates, and they had to bleep it out and they had to blurb it out because he was chewing them a new one and he was using some vulgar language, and he's got to stop and he's got to tell himself, these are my guys. Why am I running them down instead of trying to build them up? And why is he impatient? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because when you fall off that pedestal, you fall hard. And the press and the media had him so high up on that pedestal.
Okay, go ahead and finish your thought.
Okay.
I agree with you.
The press and the media and everybody had him so high up on that pedestal. And he thought, like I said, he thought he was going to go to Cleveland and become a god. And it didn't happen.
See, for me, it's not the media.
It's his own personal view.
It has everything to do with on the floor. This quote right here has everything to do with on the floor. But think about this. Here's why being patient is his biggest test this year. He comes into the league. LeBron has been given everything.
He's used to getting everything.
Not as far as MVPs. Please don't misconstrue my statement. Not as far as awards and stuff like that. He's earned all of that. Okay?
Right.
And I respect the hell out of LeBron James. I have the utmost respect for LeBron James as a basketball player. You get drafted to Cleveland, and you've got a head coach in Mike Brown. Right there, you're given an Eastern Conference title shot. And then you fall off in Cleveland, and you go to Miami, where you are given Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. That was given to you.
Well, if he ever had a chance of earning a ring, he should have stayed where he
And
was.
of course, there was immediate success.
Of course.
They didn't win the ring in the first year,
No.
but there was immediate success.
Nobody should have hung around long enough to figure out if they could have.
And then...
Why would you leave a team that's got Dwayne Wade on it?
And then you go to Cleveland. And you realize that it's not what you thought it was going to be.
Of course not. I could have told him that.
So it's a reality check. And LeBron is not used to struggling.
No.
It's that simple. It's
Right.
that simple. So
Right.
I applaud him for saying this. Because it's 100% true.
Absolutely.
Because he's not playing bad at all. Okay? But, of course, I applaud him for coming out and saying this. And the final quote. LeBron, on the Cavs' now 4-game losing streak, quote, "We're fragile." Yvonne Juno, your thoughts?
And I agree. I just hope he's lumping himself up in that quote.
He said we're.
Okay.
It's that simple. It ends there.
Okay.
It ends there.
Okay.
Great quote.
I hope he means it.
Great quote.
I hope he's including himself in that.
Now, we're going to end part 1 here because I believe we're up to 30 minutes or so. Oh, wow, 40 minutes. So, part 2 coming at you next.